So it's basically winter again.
It's basically winter.
Before we get into whatever the heck we're talking about today, gonna go over a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys haven't noticed, obviously we've been off the air for the last few weeks. We are making a change, and we are now going to the last Friday of every month is going to be the ZZP Power Hour. We got a lot of stuff to do around the shop, so we're just kind of reorganizing, figuring things out. You know, it might change down the road, it might not, but right now, look forward to us last Friday of every month, and then past that, I got this beautiful piece in front of me.
God's engine, God's gift to engine. We have parts for you.
Stainless boys.
You may all bow. Tyler, do you want to talk about it? Or you want me to talk about this thing?
I like it. It's a really cool product that we've been working on for a while. Obviously, the LNF comes with a stock turbo manifold, but this is our new stainless version. It is fully cast stainless steel. Precision CNC faces. We built it off the LNF manifold because that interferes the least when it comes to larger turbos.
Most stuffs.
And you probably can't see from the podcast viewing area, but we cut down that center section divider there. Obviously, the stock KO4 is a twin scroll. We cut down the scroll, and we put it on a big turbo car. You decrease spool time, pick up some boost. Overall, it's an awesome piece. Very well priced. It's on the website right now. Go check it out. But very excited to offer these. We're going to put these in all the entry-level turbo kits. We eliminated some clearance issues by we used to use the LDK manifolds, and now we're back to this. It comes with titanium studs. Killer piece.
And you think it looks pretty now. Wait till it gets heat cycled a few times.
This thing chilling on the back of Paul's Goblin with a Z54.
I mean, we may bless LSJ with glorious LNF parts. We may. So,
you've been called out.
FYI, guys. Just to reiterate, Tyler just said it. KO4 guys, not a great part for you.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want this. Stick with your stock because that's the twin scroll actually helps. So we did some testing on the KO4 and on the Z series and the ZFR turbos. It's an increase for the ZFR and the Z series turbos, increase in spool and power. Not as great for the KO4 due to the twin scroll.
It's not going to crack in the center.
And it don't crack
because there's no center.
Because there's no center. What y'all know about that? What y'all know about that?
So, like Connor said, LHU LDK manifolds fit a little bit different. We're going back to this. It's been tough to source OEM LDK manifolds, and they are expensive. So, this will be moving into the entry-level kits, which is great. But yeah, getting into what we're talking about today.
Hang on, let me stop you real quick.
Yeah.
Can
What do you got,
go back
Mike?
and redo the new podcast schedule? We had this weird delay.
Okay.
What?
Right at the end of your spiel. So.
Wait,
well,
did we not get the flamingo versus geese?
No.
No.
So
What?
YouTube was
Well.
not as quick today.
Anyway.
Oh well.
So for what you guys missed, we are moving the schedule of the podcast from every week. As you've seen, now we are going to the last Friday of every month is going to be the Z Power Hour. The ZZP Power Hour.
Almost like a flock of flamingos.
Almost like a flock of flamingos. Oh man, that is hard to say.
Flock of flamingos.
Anyway. So we're talking about summer reset because it is creeping into July here.
After it's over summer, it's winter. Get your cars put up.
We're going to talk about products that have come out this year, cars that we've worked on here at the shop, what we've got coming down the line, and then personally, different cars, different events, what we're doing. Randy, I'm going to throw it over to you because Mr. Platform here got
Mr.
himself...
Is that my name now?
Yeah,
you took the title from Tim.
Yeah.
Aha!
Yeah.
Suck it, Tim.
You got yourself a new car.
I did get a car. I was tired of being slow.
You needed some cubes in the mix.
I needed some cubes and some rear-wheel drive. So your boy found himself a good deal on a CTSV Sport. We're going to be doing some stuff in the shop over the next couple weeks. It does require a fresh engine because that's how I got a good deal.
Yeah, I gotta say, I heard you got a good deal. Because,
good thing we got that on lock.
Yeah, so we got lots and lots of LF4, LF3 stuff going on behind the scenes. But I think we're just gonna do like titanium rods, 10 over pistons, and then
Studs.
I'm gonna throw our catalog at it.
Yep.
Hey Connor,
Yeah,
check ZZPerformance.com. It's on the website right now, so you can go see what the price is and order one up right now.
The
turbo parts.
the CTS has always been lurking in the background of the ATS-V, and as the demand grows, we did a catback for it. We've got downpipes for it. We got a flex kit. We got our intakes.
Yep.
And just like I think there's a Zoom has a rant on here about all it takes for somebody to buy one, and Randy has now bought one.
Yeah.
So we'll be definitely diving in a little deeper. I believe the control arms fit already, so
They do.
it's already a
Fairly
good
good.
platform to start with.
Yeah,
and
it's just sad because you don't see, like, people do modify them, which is great because we want to make parts for you guys, but there's not a whole lot of documentation behind it, like, do these things, this is how you can get here.
the price point is significant compared to an ATS too.
Oh yeah.
And as far as bang for the buck, I think the CTS is a lot more car.
Yep.
Maybe
I mean, physically, for
It is a bigger car, yes.
big
And
girl.
Speaking of the CTS, I don't know, I haven't seen Paul in here yet. Shout out to Paul. Paul let me crash at his house and steal his trailer and truck to
And let it
retrieve
sleep there for a little while.
Yeah, retrieve this deal of mine. So shout out to Paul because he is the man. But yeah, I'm hoping.
What's cool
stuff.
about stuff like this is when we get one in house too. Sometimes guys, we do make parts kind of blind.
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah, in a sense, yeah. Not
like
just,
we guess, but-
we don't guess, but like, hey, this part fits here. We've had customers say, oh yeah, it fits perfectly. Then, we kind of go off of the community, that we're a part of. We go off the community's feedback.
Yep.
And so that's why, for instance, a very small one, our flex fuel kit, it fits great, but we've come to find out that it doesn't fit perfect.
Yeah.
So
we literally just perfected it yesterday.
yeah.
And and then as far as like any R&D on CTS stuff, like when we did the catback, we borrowed a good friend's CTS, and now we'll just be able to use our boy Randy over here for all the R&D and
should be in the parking lot. So
and Randy's cars are always top notch, so
Always
he's gonna have
I
it.
try.
He's gonna have it flexing real soon, and
Got some. I bought wheels for it before I had the car. So
normal car guy stuff.
Yeah, got some wheels and some bits sitting in the garage.
I'm really excited
doing
that the fact that the engine is, in need of help, because that is going to allow us to dive in there and essentially create a foundation that's going to carry you to work every day, and then also casually, world's fastest CTSV Sport.
Yeah,
Easy.
Without really trying, probably.
Easy.
You never know. But that's the goal.
Mid
Everybody wants a
11s right now.
Yeah, everybody wants a fast car. I think we can probably get that car into the 10s pretty quickly. So
Yeah, that's ultimately I'd say the goal, right?
Yeah.
10-second CTS.
I like a mid-high 10-second.
Maybe
fun.
just
And
SCT
just
next
cruise
year.
Something
the
I can
dial.
toss the dogs in. Katie can drive it to work if she wants to. Like nothing that's gonna be unstreetable, undrivable. Just something that's.
But
great
realistically,
daily.
like Bo said, that the amount of car physically and performance wise that you get for the dollar on those things is crazy because they have an awesome transmission.
Yeah. The
it's
TL80E.
Yeah,
Dude, that thing.
it's really great. It's basically an ATS-V engine. Well, yours will be. But the fact that we can build on that and we can make some videos and kind of showcase what that car is about, I think might bring a little more attention to the vehicle itself.
Yeah.
And somebody in the market for an ATS-V might go,
No, it's good to see.
Yeah, because that's what I wanted at first, right? Like I was like, I love ATS-Vs. I drove a couple of them, and I was like, well, dang, I'm gonna have to buy one of those. And when I look at good quality versions of them, you're getting mid-30s and up.
oh yeah,
If not more.
Typically, if not more. Especially if you want like a well-spec'd one, a Vector Blue manual sedan. Good luck.
That is the second best one for sure.
that's the first best one.
No.
Well, behind the coupe.
Yeah.
Coupe,
Well,
white. A-speed.
Blue is better.
Vector Blue is the best color.
Can we put up in the chat what's the better color for cars, Mike? White, blue, or red?
Ooh.
But not a boring ass red. You gotta
red,
go.
white, or blue.
But anyway, the last time we probably left off with you guys, not to cut out your spiel off,
No,
Randy.
go for it.
We were heading to Car Takeover.
We were, and we went.
And we went, and we
kind of slayed on all platforms.
Did a lot of record breaking.
Yeah, and everything that ZZP did, we came and we cleared house.
came, conquered,
So
had fun.
I think the biggest thing, and in classic Matt Meekoff fashion, freaking
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we
shows up.
well, let me lay the foundation
Back it
of
up.
this.
Hit it, Bo.
So we're hitting Friday is Streetcar Takeover.
Mhm.
The shop has Friday off. We're gonna go do some racing. We're rolling into Monday. Tuesday comes around, and Tyler and I and Ryan were like, we're sitting good, boys. We've never been so ready. We're not gonna have any late nights wrenching.
Yep.
Like we might as well just start drinking now. And then Matt Meekoff goes, do you think we could change the engine and the turbo kit
in the race car? Put a new engine and turbo kit on the race car
on Monday.
On Monday.
And so suddenly our schedule went from checking tire pressures to changing engines and doing turbo kits and tuning. And he looks at me and I'm like, well, we ain't got nothing else to do, I guess, other than we have everything to do. But, you know, we might as well build another 9-second LTG real quick. So we install an engine in Matt's what was currently just full R&D ATS rat.
Yeah.
And so we installed a forged engine in there, stage 3 cams, the full current LTG program, and then did a tubular manifold on it and a 257. Matt put it on the dyno Thursday, did some 4-5 shifts. He said it's good for the trailer. We VHT'd the tires real quick, and Matt rolled in casually late Friday night.
Yep.
6 o'clock, something like that.
And, you know, he made one pass, got some data, went up for another pass, did a 9.
Clicks off a 959.
959.
Mid-9s.
That's fast.
Not even dipping the toes into the 9s.
He said, I'm in here.
Yeah.
I'm deep.
I'm deep.
Yeah.
Back wheels in.
So thankfully, over the winter, we did add a cage to that car because in the back of our minds, we knew it was going to do this. We just didn't expect it to fall together in 3 days.
Yeah.
And, you know, so that was super cool. And he went up to make another pass. Had a transmission decoupling issue that we believe.
Cooperate.
But it didn't. But it did, but it didn't.
Yeah, like it didn't want to drive that day, and then like the next morning he fired it up, and we were like, oh.
Yeah, we fired up and it's like, oh, this is perfectly fine. Why did you get mad, car?
So it'll be back, but you know, now we got 2 9-second LTGs, and Matt's piloted both and tuned both, and it's been super easy breezy there. And
Man, what a like, you know, that car has gone fast. It's gone 10-0. That's plenty quick.
Yeah.
But to come out the first race weekend.
Hey, you want a casual mid-9?
Just
boop, got it.
Like we say it so casually, like so nonchalant, but like, dude, that's a fast fucking car.
That's a fast car.
Yeah, like
Trapping what? 148 or 9 or something like that?
Yeah,
it was fast.
It was low 140s, and sorry, Matt, we're totally butchering your spotlight, but
yeah.
Matt, and that was our big thing too, is we wanted to be the first LTG to trap 140.
Yep.
You know, that was kind of Matt's deal there, is he wanted that 140 time slip, so we secured that, which is super cool. And 140 mile in the quarter for a 2-liter is
fast.
Doing some stuff.
That is fast. Yeah. That is real
yeah,
fast.
and like, obviously, there's a lot of development and different things that have gone into this car, you know. But really, it was easy.
Yeah.
Like we've set up the program where we know, and we'll get to what else we did that day. But the fact that he was able to roll in on Monday and say, "Hey, I want this ready to go," and it was ready to go, and we were
like, all right.
Yeah.
Speaking of what what else we did that day with the LTG, and you know, what we developed is that Matt's ATS setup was nearly identical to what you have in your car, down to everything besides the turbo. And what'd your car do, Tyler?
Oh yeah, this is the juice right here, boys.
Mr. Almost full weight street car.
Yeah. So shout out to Jake Starr, one of our customers / competitors / you know, guy who's in the community. He well, shoot,
he got the hype going 3 months ago, probably
4 or 5 months ago. He was making some posts, and I called him out, and I was like, hey, show up to Car Takeover in June in Michigan. And you know, you say that, and somebody's like, oh yeah, sure, I'll be there. Man showed up.
He actually showed up.
He drove.
It's like a 5-hour drive.
Where did you drive from?
He drove from Iowa.
Yeah. So that's you know, I will also agree with Ty on that one. Like, not many customers actually going to come out here and race. So we have gone many states over in the past to race, many times over. And it's very rare that a customer will actually show up and come in, because last time actually I called him out, but and then
so huge props to him for actually coming out. But basically the battle was 2 different turbos. He's got his hybrid small frame turbo and then Z57. We went out earlier this year in the Camaro, clicked off an 11.2. First time the car had been to the track in 4 or 5 years.
With extra weight in it, full weight, tools in the back. Tyler spec.
Tyler spec.
Yep.
Yeah,
so off golf.
Half a cobalt in the back.
Friggin' trunk full of Millers.
Standard Tyler spec on the car.
So we show up to Street Car Takeover. We start doing the roll racing. The car's trapping like 125 miles per hour in the rolls. Pretty spicy. Car was feeling
neck and neck
good.
with a certain GTP.
It was a great race. So we're having fun. Friday night is when they close down the roll racing, and then they move into digs. And we go up there, and me and Jake race the first shot out, and the car runs like an 11.4, and I'm like,
but now it ran that, but were you physically ahead?
Yeah.
So the car was physically ahead, but it ran a slower time.
Yeah, so I got the wind light. We come back, and I'm like, man, that's kind of weird. That was partially my fault. I ran the car too low on gas. Which,
didn't have some sloshing.
Hey, race stuff.
Anyway, so we put some fuel in it, go back up to the line again, get a good launch. I was like, man, that felt great. Grab my time slip, and it's even slower, an 11.8. But it's still like 123 miles per hour, and I'm like, something's not making sense.
Yeah.
Something's not making sense. So we go back and we're talking.
This and I'm just before you, I know what you're about to say, but I'm not going to ruin it. This is a shout out to how talented and smart the people that we are working with are. Somebody that knows this, and this is Matt Meekoff, guys. This is
and Mr. Steve Hickman.
And Steve Hickman. Yeah, so
literally
both shout to Matt and Steve.
Max support.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like up there with his phone recording for a reason.
Yeah, for a reason.
Not like, this is going to be cool. Like, no, this is data and we need to review this.
Yes.
So
rude.
Sorry, Mike.
So, I it's a good launch and I can feel it, and when you're drag racing you can feel that something's running good. And then the slip says that my 60 foot's like a 2.4. That's like walking off the line.
Yeah.
Wait.
So
that's like cobalt on street tires.
Cobalt, for sure.
And so Steve's watching the video and he's looking over it and he brings it back, and him and Matt are going back and forth. And Matt's like, wait, stop, pause, okay, roll it back, now go forward, like frame by frame, go forward. And he goes, watch the bulbs. He goes, on, off, on, off. Why do they go off twice?
Yep.
So what we figured out, the only thing that changed in between the last time and this time.
Oh no.
Mr. Ryan Derrick.
I was like, Tyler, get this thing looking good.
We put a front lip on the car.
Put a front lip on his Camaro.
It was tripping the shit out of the beams.
Tyler?
Yeah.
Improperly.
See,
I was lining up on the front lip at the beams, not the tire.
Not the tire.
Because we put the skinnies on, which lowered the car, and the front lip was like
low.
It was pretty low.
So what was happening was, as I was building boost on the line, the car started to lift up. Well,
it starts its time.
Tripped the beams, starts the time. I go, so it was way off. I run the car back to the pits. Ryan whips the lip off. Go out next pass. Crack off a 10.8.
That's real.
Just
it was really optimally doing 10.8. Like
it was running 10.8s all day.
Three times.
She's like, boys, I'm doing it.
I'm doing my job. Why are you not telling me I'm doing my job?
See, this just goes to show that fake low makes your car slower.
So yeah.
Yes, but yes.
Yeah. So cracked off a couple more 10.8s. The air was really good Friday night, as it always is. So it didn't get any faster, but it ran 3 10.8s, another 10.9. Like, the car is just consistent. It's dialed. It is. It's perfect. Like like Bo said, I drive it to golf every Wednesday, and then I can swap some tires on and take it to the track and run a 10.
Yeah.
So first street car
LTG
in the 10s, and the only one.
Yep.
And my man over here is second 10-second platform car because he
Yeah.
piloted the Sonic to
Sonic,
10s 2 years ago. Now he's like,
No,
let me just do the LTG.
And by the way, his daily driver Camaro is faster than the 10-9
It is.
0.1.
It is, and it's a lot easier to drive.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
If you go back a couple podcasts ago about pick your weapon or pick your poison, I don't know, something. The right tool for the job.
Right tool for the job.
But-
Sonic might not be the right tool for drag racing, but
But legitimately though, to kind of just dip in very quickly, this is literally the perfect thing that talks about the Camaro. Like when ZZP set out, for some reason Camaro guys separate themselves from the ATS guys. You know, it's the same platform, the same engine.
Yeah.
So that's why we're like, well, we got to run down as a Camaro, we got to run down as an ATS. And so
And we did it.
And we did. And so for a fully street cable car, it's faster than a lot of the LT1 cars.
Yeah.
We did in a four. We did on a 4-cylinder car
And
very easily, actually.
Yeah, and it's not like it requires trickery. You know, you don't need a watt box. You don't. This is stock PCM. This is
stock trans,
Yeah.
stock converter,
stock axles. Just throw a tire on it, and it's good to go.
and it's a second faster than a ZL1.
Yeah.
Shoo.
I bet those guys are butter.
Yeah, there was definitely some boys mad that we had Grand Prix and 4-cylinder Camaros going faster than their V8 cars.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But
standard ZZP style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Outside of that, Bo, rundown. What else we brought? What else we did?
You know, we had Zoom's car out there, obviously. Super happy with that. Best of 11.2 at 124, almost 125 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Which
Pretty
that car hasn't been at the track in 2 years, and we just changed the tires and the oil, and that car ran really, really well.
Really well. Yeah.
Not full kill mode. We were just getting it up to just shake her down and see what she did.
Yeah, you know, it's just it was you know, we got a pretty mild setup on it right now. It's been super consistent. The biggest thing that this year at Street Car Takeover did was it reignited some of Zoom's passion in that car.
Yeah.
Which
To say the least.
he has displayed greatly, which I couldn't be more thankful for in the end, honestly. And so we're going to be diving back into some Zoomer GTP things because Zoom, for lack of better terms, wants it to go much, much faster.
And it can.
And it can. So
See, Zoom has this weird.
Will.
Yeah, Zoom has this thing, boys.
there's the will's there. It's up to me to find the way.
Yeah.
Nope.
None of the other new cars can beat his car. Otherwise, it's a thing. And so now the fact that Tyler's car and the Sonic can beat his car,
Yeah.
he mad.
Okay.
But the biggest thing I'd say for Zoom's car being there is we had it on a 15 for the first time in 15 years.
And did it look good?
And the dudes running the track are like, brother, you need more air in them tires, and I'm like, no, they're just right.
You don't worry about that.
We did a
Give us the wrinkle.
We did a 157 60-foot, no wheelie bar, just our ZZP coilovers. So I was super happy with that. And then, you know, trapping 124 next to Tyler's car was awesome on an M90.
Yeah.
And other than that, I have lost my train of thought. The equalizer. We shouts to Alex. I told him, you know, this week I was like, hey, we're taking Zoom's car down there. We got the equalizer on it. I really just want to please the crowd with this thing and put it on the rev limiter and make some passes. And I think it did exactly that. Anybody that was there
Talk
that
about
week.
a presence.
Yeah.
It was really cool having all, you know, we had a couple livery cars out there. We had a couple others with the race team banner. And we had 6 or 7 cars just hot lapping all day. Yeah. And it was so cool to watch videos of my Camaro going down the track. And the announcer, when we get up there, he's like, shout out to ZZP for coming out. They brought a whole gaggle of cars.
I think I ran Ryan's car like
back to back.
Yeah.
I ran Ryan's car like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
Like just like whoop.
I mean, yeah, but that's a Bo. I want to talk about the other cars before we get off.
Yeah.
Like, what other cars we bringing? What happened?
We brought our maroon GTP. Ryan, our mechanic, piloted it.
We call her Grimace because she's purple.
Grimace.
It's not really purple.
Purple red.
Anyway, we if you've been following our 3800 page at all, we had all of our valve train parts in that. That was kind of our last hurrah before we pulled the valve train parts out, which all look great. So we'll be moving forward with some production on that. But got Ryan some seat time. That car went mid 12s on an XP cam.
And guys, there are 2 Ryans here. Me and
on a Gen 3. Our mechanic Chris Boltman took our all-wheel drive ATS out there. He ran some 12 O's in that.
Looking spicy on those RPF ones,
Ooh,
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
RPF1 guys, I'm very big USDM, JDM wheels on American cars. My business.
The car looks so good. I was so sad when we took those.
I know.
Yeah, 4-door ATS on an 18x8.5 is just right.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good.
Good wheels and tires.
Randy. So guys, Friday, Randy drove my car up there.
Did some roll racing and
so
wallpaper
he did
ATS.
some roll racing with it.
Yeah.
It was his first time. For his first time driving, he did very well. I maybe got 2 or 3 more miles an hour, maybe. But Randy good. He tried 119.
Yeah, I literally drove to the shop, picked up Ryan's car, drove it there.
Yeah, he had never. And guys, the car
try.
for people say, "Oh, road racing is easy." It's not, because you have to know a car and you have to know how to drive it. And my car is finicky to drive. Mm-hmm. It is. There is no ifs, ands, or anyone who drives are like, "Whoa, what is up with this car?" It's like, you just got to get used to it.
Yeah,
so
it clutch the shifter. It's.
I did have a couple compliments. A couple guys were like, "Man, that ATS you're driving, the auto is pretty quick." And I was like, "Oh no, it's manual." And the guy was like,
"What?
What?"
Heck yeah.
Because that no lift shift, boy.
Yes, sir.
I just keep that
Killer
right
car
foot
no
planted.
lift shift.
Bam.
Yep.
It is such a fun car to drive.
It is very fun.
And it's comfortable. It's got the V seats in it that are real comfortable around the sides and everything. Car's a good car.
Per always, come see us next year at Street Car Takeover.
Yeah.
We have a couple cars out there.
Yep, we did that. We did, Tyler Spain and myself. We also did car show stuff because I didn't get a time for it. I knew I wasn't going to be able to race. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to, so I'll show up and just hang out and support. So we placed snow car, of course. Everyone loved it. Everyone loves ZZP cars. Got a trophy. We took home top 10.
Yeah.
So
did T-Spain.
Tyler Spain and Subaru, did. So we kind of just had wins.
Yeah.
We had 2 other customers with ATSs come out. On Saturday, kind of run some good times on that. I think
2 all-wheel drive cars. Robert Binkowski,
I believe.
And his daughter, and both ZZP engines in those. That's his car is the fastest all-wheel drive, which runs like an 11.3.
Yeah,
which is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
which is pretty great. So it was really great to see everybody. Preston came out. There were a couple other customers that, of course, I'm going to forget their name. But we love to see it. We love to have you guys out there. We're not going to make it to the July Street Car Takeover in Indy, but hopefully they do what they did last year and do a late year in Indy. Because last year we went with the Sonic, I think it was September or October, something like that.
Yeah.
But I really hope they put that on again because we could get a couple more cars ready and go out there and see that. And lay down another 10 at another track. Just saying.
Could be fun.
Easy
deal.
So okay, we was talking about Street Car Takeover. We're trying to do some other events, but who kind of knows what's going on with that? What about some R&D stuff? We have multiple. You guys are part of the main part of the R&D stuff.
Time. I don't know to talk about everything. But...
So that's why at least I'll put my 2 cents. We're getting some new 3D printers very soon.
We are.
That is really cool.
Yeah, we are getting 3D printers. I kind of have me and Randy kind of have the RD print. I do a lot of the stuff, and he helps me troubleshoot if I need some help with that, and he's very instrumental in that. So we're a team with it, and I've been doing a lot of 3D prints. We're making Tesla low-end, so I'm 3D printing, so I'm getting those on the website.
Yeah.
So we're getting some more parts on with Teslas. We're 3D printing and testing all sorts of parts. We're working on like a LSJ cam.
I mean, across the whole spectrum. I think some people don't understand, and especially in the 3800 pages, people are like, "Oh, you don't pay attention to the 3800 anymore." But
no.
We have so many projects going at all times across all platforms that it would be impossible to recap. But
an impromptu meeting Tuesday in the office, Zoom, and all of us trying to name this new part that we're talking about.
Yeah, it's not too much of a secret. I mean, as far as 3800 stuff goes, we got some throttle body stuff in the works. We got some intercooler stuff in the works. We got valve train, lifter trays, tensioners, cam bolts.
I mean, stuff that what's really important is stuff that's been discontinued.
Yeah, and that's what we're doing.
That we want to keep
lately
that platform alive.
We see, a lot of our OE drop in availability of parts for these cars, so we're just stepping in and carrying these cars through the next 10, 20 years, just like we have in the past 10, 20 years of, being able to keep modding, being able to keep turn wrenches, being able to keep enjoying these cars because they're still out there.
And there's nothing worse than you're getting into a cam build and your lifter trays are all blown out
Yeah.
You can't go online. You can't buy them.
Yeah,
you got to either find somebody who somehow has some new old stock.
Yep.
But we're gonna remedy that.
We're coming, and we're doing some new build series on that Ryan's fired up this week on Road to what is it called?
Road to Horsepower.
Road to Horsepower. So be tuned for that. But as far as R&D goes, lots of turbo development for
all the platforms.
Literally all the platforms.
I love it.
We're still tinkering on slingshot stuff a ton in the background. Lots of LNF stuff, ATS-V stuff,
everything.
We got some cool 1.4 stuff.
It just really
Angelo, those are already on the website, brother.
It just really takes a lot of time to run these things through the paces, finalize stuff, and ultimately get it into your hands. It doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's a good point, Bo. And I think you guys especially know. So a lot of people think, oh, just make the part and put it out there. Yeah, no, that's not how it works. A very, very, and so I'm going to talk about it publicly with our customer because we're so close to it. Our 300 poly engine and transmission. I get asked questions about that weekly, multiple times weekly. Yeah. You have a test of the engine mount on your desk, and we've been testing a trans mount as well in many cars.
That's a pretty good example. That engine trans and poly mount thing has been being revised for probably going on 2 years now. And it's not for the fact that we don't want it in your hands. It's the fact that when it gets in your hands, we want it the best that it can possibly be.
Mm-hmm. And reliable, and so it isn't breaking.
Yeah.
We're considering densities and height changes and bolt fitment and the whole deal. And we got to put it in a car and make sure it works and yada yada. And then right down to Zoom, we get it all finalized. And he's like, well, I want it lighter. And so because Zoom's buckled down on the weight thing lately, which is what built ZZP back in the day.
Yeah, it really did.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, it's gone to the point where we can't even create a part without it being lighter than what came off the car. So you throw that into the mix, and there's a lot of unfortunately we're very thorough, and that takes time to develop. And I think being install bay manager and fleet manager, that's one thing I've stressed greatly on too, is guys are banging, customers are banging on my door telling me they want it. Guys in the ordering team are banging on my door telling me let's go, and I'm like, we got to take our time on it.
Need more time.
For sure. Because in the end, guys, it helps you guys out so that you're not emailing, hey, my part broke. I need a warranty on this.
Just like Tyler's car, it's got a killer, what I would believe killer, the best catch can system on the market right now. Mm-hmm. It's been on there for a couple months. Mm-hmm. And could we have probably whipped it together in 3 weeks? Sure. But we're going to take our time and make sure it's exactly what we need.
Yeah. Brett, I'm glad to hear that you're picking up a Z04. I'm pretty sure that was you that I was talking about. He autocrosses his Sonic. He's got the whole gamut. You're going to be super happy with that. That's going to
this is kind
completely change the car.
This is kind of the point in our season where, we'd love to do a lot of events. We really would. We'd love to keep drag racing all year, right? But we hit Street Car Takeover. We hammer it hard. We'll drag race in the fall. But between now and fall, we're going to turn some corners. We got our Tail of the Dragon trip coming up. Yeah. And we're going to catch basically every autocross in between that we can here in Michigan that's worthwhile.
Yeah, I know Noah's planning on going to the Grand Valley autocross next weekend. I don't think I'm going to make that one. I think I'll be up north. But, turning corners.
I'm ready for some corners. Our favorite event, Berlin Raceway, they cut their spectator drag autocross. And Sarah just sent me a memory of 2 years ago. In last year. But,
hey,
maybe one day we'll have a ZZP autocross.
Yeah, Joe P. He says, hopefully the throttle body for a Gen 5 L32 cars. I see this a lot, but I don't know why. Guys, you realize your throttle body is huge?
Yeah, the
L32 throttle body is big.
Yeah, we've made 400 horsepower through that throttle body many times. The problem is it's drive-by-wire, and if for us to manufacture something that's going to be a little bit of an upgrade and still bolt-on, it's going to be extremely pricey. Yeah. So, and unfortunately, there's no direct bolt. Like, if we could bolt on an LS3 throttle body or something, but we can't do that.
Yeah. So just everybody, so don't be stuck on it's already that big. You don't need this big, something that's bigger.
It's
than
a
the
huge throttle body.
The L32 throttle body is big.
It dwarfs the LS4.
And it's just unfortunate that it's drive-by-wire. Yeah. It limitates what we can do in the aftermarket.
Going to the future. DI, drive-by-wire, everything, let's go.
Yeah, that's fair.
I just bought my first DI car. I don't know.
It's gonna be your fastest one. Let's go.
Probably.
Yeah, but sometimes
No.
the slowest car is the most fun.
I will say the Sonic does put the biggest smile on my face. When I drive that car. So.
Man, I've been driving the blue car the last couple of days, and talk about ready to turn some corners. That car is freaking dialed.
Yeah.
And
you're right.
I hit up what is that? O'Brien Street, the one that if you're going up Wilson and then you take a left and it zooms. I was ripping that the other day, making all of 8 psi. It was great.
Yeah.
Shifting at 75.
The smiles per gallon do win. 100%.
It does.
Power is not everything.
Making 8 psi through some type of valve that's on an M62 that might be
that,
little
it's
bit
so
of an
funny.
upgrade.
Yeah, that's another thing.
We do got some killer valves coming down the road for eating guys. Otherwise we're just getting really settled into the building this summer.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. Shop. I just called you shop. What the heck?
Who are you?
Big M.
Big M just
Big
made
shop.
a killer video.
Yeah,
walking you through the shop. We got our new warehouse. We got our new dyno.
Yeah, Michigan Soundwest is just somebody. He was evidently all peeped what you were working on the computer screen. Oh.
Yeah,
that's got some. We did some testing on that.
That's the problem.
It's
perfect
promising.
Example: the HV3, HV4,
HV5,
HV47000.
We're gonna call it an HVR.
So we keep making this HV project, and then we put it in a vehicle, and it does better, and then we tweak some stuff, and it does better, and then I put it in a car, and I'm like, well, Randy, it did this, which I've never seen before, so we're gonna have to investigate. So rather than just building you guys an HV that is the same as what we used to sell, we're just really wrenching down on making the best possible version of itself that we can offer you guys.
Wait. You're saying that we care about the cars we work on and we try to make the best part possible. We support our community.
Well, something like this HV. When this HV comes out, this is probably, unfortunately, the last HV insert that's ever going to see the 3800.
Yeah.
So why not take an extra year to
make it
test
good.
the balls off of it and make sure it's perfect?
Yep,
that's right.
And I've seen some things in the scans that I've been looking for in all other places. Apparently it's some turbulence in an intake manifold.
You guys think we do 1, 2, 3 iterations of something? If I showed you the stack,
I dynoed 5 of those
before I
in
was
a day before.
I'm on revision 34 of printing on an LSJ cam cover. I'm 34 revision. I printed and messed up and had to go back to the printer and want to throw the printer across the room.
Not the whole cam cover, a cam end plate. We
we
don't want people thinking we're making some billet.
Sorry, yes, the cam
wish.
that would be cool.
Yeah, but the HV4 HV thing is Bo was like, yeah, Randy, it's doing this thing, and I was like, do you want it to do more or less of that?
Do you want more of the thing or less of the thing?
What it did was extreme. The latest revision, we're like, all right, this is good. And it extremely smoothed the MAF frequency.
Yeah. Which is
a problem that I've dealt with on a lot of turbo cars is smooth MAF frequencies. And then it's doing it on a naturally aspirated car. And I'm like, wow, we got to get this in some turbo applications. But, then the testing just rolls. And unfortunately, we're working on it. That's all you say.
I'm just not good at dumping parts and being like, that's good enough. I'm the worst person with that. Good enough is not good enough when it comes to our parts.
Yeah, and that's, going back to this manifold.
Do you know how many times this manifold was on and off of a vehicle?
Too many times.
This 9. I don't know.
This specific not this specific one, but this design was A/B tested on 2 different vehicles with 2 different turbos. So my guys, Chris and Ryan, bolted and unbolted this at least 8 times.
Yeah.
And we dynoed it all 8 revisions. It's like...
Yeah. We wish testing went quicker. We really do.
But it does move quickly. I mean, we do that. Let's say we do 1 a week. That's 8 weeks.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
So guys, too, again, I really want to hammer home what Bo is talking about. Like, everyone thinks, we get here, let's just test parts all day. So this is in between us getting emails, trying to help you guys out. Bo having customers come in, doing customer builds. Yeah. Bo in R&D meetings. Bo getting yelled at by Matt, by Tim, by other people, by me. Hey, get this car and get this car and get this car. I need my car. And like this is
It
is
is so tough sometimes.
Yes.
Like
The biggest thing that I love about Mike's recap video, what's the name of that video, Mike? The building walkthrough, or
ZZP shop tour.
ZZP shop tour. If you check
Please
our
watch
YouTube
it,
page,
guys.
it's like
great
two.
video.
It's 2 videos back. I've gotten a lot of comments on that, even out in the wild. People are like, "Hey, I saw your shop video. That's awesome." And the biggest thing I want you to take home from that is it wasn't staged nearly at all.
No.
Mike walked through the building, and that is how busy every individual
Yeah.
is in this place
Yeah.
to a T. Right down to Mike starts in the front of the building, walks through. I'm talking to a customer. He walks through the rest of the building. People are working. All the way to the back where he opens up the door, and Matt Meekoff and Alex are
Totally.
dynoing a car.
not staged at all.
No.
Mike goes, yeah, it was awesome. I was in the warehouse and I heard a car and I was like,
Oh,
oh,
what's
something's on the dyno. Just opens the door and
Yeah.
there it is.
Like the
It
amount
would've
of
been better if I planned it.
Yeah.
the amount of moving components in this facility is just crazy. And then
if you had an overhead view and could watch
It's
just
people
stuff.
all
Oh,
day,
geez.
circle. Like,
Our
it's
bing
insane.
bong around.
our good customer John Kennedy came up from Tennessee today to dial in his half-mile L&F, and he pulls in. He's like, "Goodness, this facility looks like a completely new building."
Oh yeah.
He's like, I thought everybody on Facebook said ZZP was going under, and I'm like, I
Well,
was
that's
like,
the-
it's funny what the keyboard warriors think when they never actually
Yeah.
see
They
it.
don't
They'll
see
say,
it.
"Oh,
Yeah.
ZZP's going downhill.
So-
ZZP's going under." What do you
Guys, don't
mean?
show up.
We unload his car, and we're talking about everything, talking over the plans, and I'm like, "Hey, bring some stuff inside." I'm like, "Hey, here's the new shop. This is kind of how we're operating now. Here's the warehouse. Here's the dyno," and I'm like, "It's really cool because I'm like, you hear that? That's Tyler across the street right now making pulls on our old dyno in the other warehouse."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Here, open this door. Hey, this is Tim right here making pulls on this dyno."
Yeah.
Like, we are operating
Yeah.
at such a high capacity at all times that, as far as it comes down to an HB4 insert,
It's again, guys. We have to try
Yeah.
to find stuff and just think that's one part for one platform. We have 7 platforms.
we're trying.
If we're trying,
Yeah.
but guys, too, and I believe our Vice President Kyla said earlier today, our number one resource, we have 2 resources that we never have enough of. Number 1 is time.
Time.
Number 2 is space.
Yep.
Like,
Absolutely.
guys, there is never enough time. Even when like my emails are getting low, I'm like, all right, when I can get back on some 3D printed stuff, I start to take apart this other one to free up some other stuff, and then someone pulls me here, and then customers at the front
Yeah.
window, and then I got to pull parts
That's a
here.
great point. I would say
Like-
every employee here is under that same circle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It
And,
doesn't matter who it is.
and that's part of like what makes this work so well is so many of us have hands in
All over.
all different areas. But like same thing. I sit there and I might have an entire day that's only remote tuning. And then I got to think, okay, well, I got to do some product photos. And then Bo's like, hey, you got to diagnose this car.
Mhm.
And you're just bouncing back and forth. And at the same time, I'm like, I got some clutch stuff to do, like
Yeah.
R&D. So you're picking your battles on what's the most important.
Time
And
management is huge.
Like just this week.
You could split all of us into
I
2, and it still probably wouldn't be enough.
No, I did a bunch of design work, going through Fusion, and Craig came in and was like, "Hey, like, if anybody could spare just a few minutes in kitting, we can't sell parts if we don't have parts
Yeah.
kitted and ready to go." And I was like, "Well, I'm gonna go over there for a little bit."
Yeah.
Did that for a couple hours today. I ran the CNC for a bit. Like, if you're sitting here doing nothing, it's a you problem, not a.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
remember a specific moment. This was probably 2 years ago now, where I'm running around doing the install bay, doing the thing,
Yeah,
like
doing
you guys are talking
yeah.
about, just overwhelmed. And we used to have this 3 o'clock stretch moment where we used to do some stretches and yoga for 10 minutes at 3 o'clock. And Zoom, one time I'm walking through the office, Zoom's like, "Bo, why aren't you stretching?" And I'm like, "I don't have time." And he looks at me, he goes, "If you don't have time for this, you're not managing your time well enough." And time management is key.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And managing all that is just you really got to develop the skill, and once you develop the skill, we all just become that much more efficient.
Yeah.
And it's right down to, like, the other day, yesterday Ryan's installing an LF3 LF4 field cam and a CTS in the shop, and
Not
he
mine.
pulls and this is me being very transparent. He pulls it out and it's got some rust marks on it. He goes, "Bo, like, it's
I don't wanna
this
install
field
this,
cam's
yeah.
rusty." I'm like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Well, These are OEM cams. We literally just press the fuel pump lobe on. We just press the reluctor on. We just built and kitted these literally less than 2 weeks ago, and for whatever reason, when we put them in the box, they got some surface rust on them. So now, instead of Ryan having to clean this single fuel cam that he's going to install the engine, which is just light surface rust, but it's not something we want you to see when you open the box, obviously.
That's not a feeling that is good for the customer.
Yeah. So now Ryan has to install this fuel cam and valve springs in a CTS, but I also dump 18 more LF4 cams off, and I say, clean them all.
I saw it.
Yeah, there was a car.
And Ryan's like, I'm a machinist now.
Yeah.
But, like, that's what we're about. Guys who can do their job and absorb everything else on top and keep moving forward.
Yep.
It's
Just pile it on.
So if you buy an LF3, L4 fuel cam, thank Ryan.
Yeah.
Hand polished, hand cleaned, hand oiled. We got a whole new process that we're moving forward with. Just we're learning every day. And, it's crazy because the cams come in this special wax paper deal that, the whole deal, but like they were on the shelf 2 weeks and formed some surface rust, which we've seen from comp before too. It's a struggle. So we got a new process that's going to be ironed out. But
that's true.
I'm gonna cut you off there because we got a little over 10 minutes. But I want to talk about, up to this point this year, customer cars, because we get a lot of cars in and out of the shop. And some of them really stand out. Some of them are special, whether it be it looks cool or the owner's great or
they make a lot of power.
Yeah, they make a lot of power, whatever it might be. And
let's go platform by platform.
I really just want to start today with Matt. I'm gonna butcher your last name. Janikowski or something like that.
Jankuskis.
He brought us his 257 LSJ. We built it back in 2018. Full build, did the boost reference system, 257.
I don't mean to cut you off, but it's not full build. It's basically the opposite.
It's a bolt-on.
It's a 257 full swap LSJ on a stock engine with a boost reference fuel system.
Yeah. So he brings us the car. It's a beautiful silver LSJ. Bo brings it in and he's like, hey, the guy's wondering about a head gasket leak possibly, but it's got a misfire. So we diagnose the misfire. We upgrade them to stage 2 turbo cams. We get the car all sorted. It's ready to go. The first time I drove the car, other than the misfire, I was like, oh, this is a good car. Like you just drive one and you're like, oh, this is this is good. It's a healthy stock engine. The magic hasn't been let out yet. And so we get the turbo cams in it, and I take it, do a couple data logs, get the fuel trims dialed in, and he's like, all right, it's ready for the dyno. We throw it on the dyno. This thing
made over what?
A 93 octane, 257, stock long block, stock short block, stage 2 turbo cams, made 425 wheel horsepower on 93 and only 21 pounds.
That's not even
this. There's nothing better than getting a car on the dyno and everything is good.
Yeah.
And you can just let me twist the knob. Let me twist the knob. Let me twist the knob.
Keep on going up. But see, that's one of the great cars. The car was well maintained. Unfortunately, he didn't drive for a long time, so he didn't know what was wrong with it. But then he brought it back to us. We figured out very quickly, and then we got the car. It's going to be better than he's ever had it ever in his life before.
We're going to be able to ship this back to I think he's a local guy.
He's a local guy, yeah.
And he's going to love this thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be
amazing.
A blast, and he's got opportunities to upgrade in different areas if he wants to make more power. But
we could have made 500 wheel on the dyno today, but it's got an F35 in it. So
and the stock bottom end.
Stock bottom end, I'm not too worried about.
I'm just saying, if it was mine or Tyler's car, we would have made.
Oh yeah, it would have made. But I was.
It's block for a little bit.
I would not recommend keeping it at 500
That's just how
wheel.
well it runs.
But it was one of those cars where I was like, Bo, I could turn this to 12, and it will take it, and it's a good So great car.
I'd like to say though, I think we're at a point where 9 out of 10 cars we put together are like that.
Oh, absolutely. And it's something that I tried, I can't directly say to whomever I might be remote tuning. They put their car together and we got to work on some things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's shocking the cars that we build, that we touch from bottom to top. You know, we make sure all the bolts are turned. We make sure that all the vacuum lines are hooked up right, and they just work.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep going and they work. And it was the same thing with our Turos car. That might have been late last year. Might have been like November of 23, but it could have been into 24. Close enough. But that was another car that, like, just top to bottom, he trusted us to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
He said, give me a 500 wheel Saturn Ion. And Bo's like, yeah,
Okay,
sure.
cool.
Yeah.
No problem.
We put it together.
I was like, here you
Put it
go.
on the dyno.
He goes, let's do it. And I said, okay. That's what's cool about Matt's car today that Tyler's talking about is Matt 100% dropped the car off, says it needs a head gasket. And I'm like, all right, here's your estimate for a head gasket.
But it's not going to be a head
Here's
gasket.
your estimate for what I want to do. Let's put some diag into the vehicle and figure out what's going on. And we got down into it and determined it wasn't a head gasket. Determined what it needed. We ended up saving about half of what he wanted to spend.
Look at that.
Yeah.
And gave him
More.
more than what he expected. So, and that's what we're here for.
What a better outcome to think, okay, I got X amount of dollars set aside. I'm going to bring my car to the shop. They're going to fix it. It's going to run good. And then,
Hey, your car's
whoever-
fine.
yeah.
You're making 100 more horsepower.
yeah,
than you were
whoever
before.
sends back your estimate is like, hey, it's going to cost you half as much.
Do you want to do the stage 2 cams?
Yeah.
And you're like, well, yeah, I already had it set aside.
The money's fake already. It's gone.
And
It's,
so I made over 100 wheel more than it made in 2018.
Yeah.
And
So,
it's-
you know,
yeah.
and so we've had a good Ecotech in here. We've had some pretty good LTGs.
we've had some great LTGs.
All the LTGs, man. Yeah.
TJ Malakip.
I'm gonna
TJ
say,
Malakad.
I think
I saw
the
TJ
shiny-
in there.
he's in here.
Yeah,
he's right
he's
there.
in there.
Like TJ's car came and it's going through a lot of changes.
Yeah.
Well, TJ's the common case of let's do this. Oh my gosh, we got a full monster on our hands.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because TJ's not even done yet, but in perfect example of customer cars is TJ car came back. We were updating some things. He wanted to do the aux kit. I'm like, sure, let's get the aux kit on the car. I drive it home. We're communicating a little bit. He's like, I want to do the cat back. And I'm catching the vibe that TJ wants, while it's here, he wants to make a little bang for his buck. And
Yep.
I'm like,
So,
sure, dude.
I apologize because TJ was messaging me and asking me about some specifics about the catback. So I was
And
like, yeah.
I was straight up with him. I said, you know what? In my situation, the best thing I can do is treat your car as if it were mine, and here's what I would do next.
Mhm.
And that is not a catback. For TJ's example, that was, let's put a 327 diff in the car,
yeah.
and let's put this 430 wheel to the ground real well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So guys, this is actually a pretty new thing. This kind of shows once again the versatility that with different kind of cars you see. TJ's car is the only car that we've seen come in with this diff because it is not a diff that comes in the LTG.
286 rear end and an ATS. Matt said he's tuned a couple. We personally haven't dealt with them a ton.
Jeez.
Matt makes it sound like they're kind of common, but definitely not a good gear ratio for a big turbo stage 3 cam 2-liter LTG
No.
in a 3,400 pound Cadillac. I'll tell you that. If you had a 286 gear in a 3,800, that is a grandma's naturally aspirated Bonneville. You can throw it out the trash.
Yeah.
So when TJ had, granted the trans is different, but still anything below a 3.0 gear ratio is not well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we had a 327 in the shop. We put it in the car, and it's
Way better.
It's way better.
Way better.
Oh.
Way better.
TJ, you're gonna love
You're
it.
gonna be like, oh my god, why is my car different?
Oh, it
And-
completely changed.
And we worked through some other issues. We had a OEM Z01 pump not cooperating well.
Mhm.
Interesting.
Fixed that. The biggest thing I stress to all of our install customers is we're here to work with you. If you're here to work with us, then the biggest thing you can do is just get the car here and let us figure it out.
Yep.
And yeah, installing customer cars have been great this year. We've had a couple of killer 3800s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That 40th NIC cam build, Tom Newstadt's Monte Carlo.
That's a good
I think
Monte
you-
Carlo.
I think that is your favorite car. The
I want-
Tom New
yeah,
Stats.
Yeah.
I
Three-
want a Monte
What
Carlo.
about that ATS-V we built in 4 days before streetcar?
Oh yeah. Guys, this is a fun one. So we had a customer with a coupe 17 car or 16 car.
It was a 16.
16 car.
2-door, hard top.
Two-door
drove
hard
up
top.
from Tennessee.
Drove from Tennessee the same week. He was like, hey, if you guys get it done in time, I'll come to Streetcar Takeover with you and hang out like the show or something.
Yeah, you know what? He emailed me the Monday after Streetcar. You know why he didn't make it? He pulled out of here. He was bombing around, got a flat tire.
Oh.
And he's like, by the time I got my flat tire fixed, I was just, I was just feeling stressed and decided to grab a room and whatever. But yeah, he comes up, drives up for Tennessee. We did a full 93 octane ATS-Vs. It's kind of been our thing this year.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we've
we
done more than
3 of them? 4 of them?
4 or 5, like fuel cam, 93 octane, full bolt-ons.
Oh,
they
yeah.
make like 550 wheel, and you just run 93 octane in the thing, which is pretty cool.
Which is insane that a 93 car needs the fuel cam.
Yeah.
The
Like that-
stock ATS-V needs the fuel cam.
That's how that's probably why GM stopped at 455 horsepower or whatever they
on
claim.
the dyno, they only make like 390 to 410.
Yeah. But they're out of fuel system
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
So the
fuel
we can
cam,
throw that in.
the thing is, if you're working with us, I'll install the fuel cam for $800, and the fuel cam's $399. So,
$1,100 and you're good.
so fuel cam, we got all the 93 octane power we need. Intakes, downpipes, catback, and I'm not gonna name drop, but the recent guy with the coupe, he was super awesome. He was like, what do I do with these parts? And I was like, well, we're gonna have the catback down, the trailing arms and the rear sway bars right there, and those are killer. He's like, let's do it. And it's really fun working on the ATS-Vs because we love ATS-Vs and the power they make.
Easy power.
Low mile, clean cars, and
no rust. They're purpose-built race cars.
You get a rocket ship with bolt horns on those cars. Like you ain't got nothing. Big 500, 600 horsepower on those cars.
I mean, yeah, and it's so cool that he can drop it off on a Monday, pick it up on a Thursday, and he's up 150 wheel, and he's got a valved catback system, fresh alignment, like tuned up.
That is the daily.
That's more than
you
I would ever imagine.
You want to go have a day that's comfortable? There you go. You want to go gap pretty much everything you're going to run up on? That's your same car. You want to go to a car show? That's still your same car.
Yeah.
Oh, look. You got the car.
Yeah,
it's
you got
car.
everything. It's the ATS-V is. I mean, obviously, it's out of reach for a lot of people when it comes to budget in the initial purchase price, but for the dollar that you spend for the gains, is pretty much like LNF level.
Oh yeah.
In terms of, I mean, just a intake downpipes tune, like stage 1 kit.
We're picking up 100 wheel.
Whole new car.
Yeah.
Insane.
So, if you can afford an ATS-V.
Yeah, we actually,
or CTSV Sport.
Or CTSV Sport.
Yeah.
And the LTG installs are really good. I'm really feeling comfortable about where we're sitting at with our short block program for the LTG.
Yeah.
And we just this year I stepped up our what we're doing to the cylinder heads and got a little deeper into the recon stuff on cylinder heads, and I'm feeling really good about that. We just learned some timing chain stuff this week, so we're going to be implementing some green guide stuff into the timing chains. If you're coming here, you're probably going to get a new GM timing chain in our green guides.
Green the world.
Green.
Going green. ZZP going green.
ZZP going green.
Going green.
Going green, boys.
And I'll wrap up on this one, but we did a customer of ours he bought a blown up 16 LTG from a friend. He totally dropped it off. He'd never driven the car in his life. He says, I want to fix it. I want to do full bolt-ons. My only requirement is the stock turbo. I want a stock turbo.
Okay.
And I was like, well, we can definitely do that. So, we did the full 4-inch long block, stage 2 cams, all the bolt-on, stage 1 kit, stage 2 kit. He says, I'm going to take it home. I'm going to put some wheels and tires on the car. I'm going to enjoy it. He had it home for 7 days and emailed me. He goes,
I need the bigger turbo.
He goes,
give me the big one.
He goes,
I need the big one.
I need the big one, and I need the aux kit. And I said, yes, you do.
You do.
So
we're
going
to by tonight.
That's basically what he said too. And I was like, well,
you got a heavy foot.
Your boys took the pieces.
Here I am. I'm like, I really wanted to do it while it was here, brother. Like, this would have been easier on you and me, but like, we'll do it twice, whatever.
Yeah.
So he's coming back, and It's addicting, you know. You get these cars and these parts working,
and when they just work, it's so hard not to be like, well, let me just turn that knob.
We call that butt horsepower power creep.
Yep.
Because you get like, man, it's a great car. It's great. Why is it slow?
Oh,
I'm beating all stuff. Well,
might as well
when you're in there.
Give me some more.
Classic while you're in there.
And, you know, he was looking at some other turbos that were around the $2,400 mark, and I'm like, dude, you're spending $2,400. We can get you 7163 like right now, and this is gonna be 11-second caddy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Easy mode.
So, and he's like 11s. I used to drag race back in the day, and I had, you know, this, and that ran 11s. I'm like, well, this is going to do it, and it'll get you to work.
Yep.
And
every day.
AC and cruise control.
And CarPlay and like, you know, all that.
All that stuff.
So we're at 5. I want to just grab on one more topic before we depart here.
For another month.
Mm-hmm.
Our LE2 development.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's hot and heavy in the
LE2
background for sure.
LE2 is the 2nd gen Chevy Cruze. We didn't ignore it. We just didn't have one here for a while.
Now we have 3.
Now we have 3. We have a manual. We have.
No, wait. I'm sorry. We have 4.
Oh yeah, you're right.
We have a sedan. We have 2
I
sedans, a manual. We have the auto sedan, the manual sedan, and 2 orange hatchbacks.
Yep. So now we have 4 in the shop, which means we are in it. We are here for it. We already have. We started working on this car a year ago, and we already have a production larger turbo in the works. Yep. It's things are getting cast. It's gonna be ready. That timeline in itself, outside of all the other products, is insane. But we have a cold air intake, we have a downpipe, we have a midpipe, we have a catback, we have an intercooler kit, we got a flex fuel kit.
That intercooler kit. Literally went through everyone at this table. I printed the end tanks.
Yeah.
For that multiple times. I printed the air box for it multiple times.
Scanned, 3D printed, made models, got things cast, got things bent.
Put in the install bay on the cars.
Yeah.
Driven.
Do an install video.
Install videos.
Like it's such a departure because we are so focused in that, and that's what's really awesome. And you know, Matt just said it yesterday. He's like, when we go all in on this engine, on this platform, it's going to be faster than the first gen 1.4s.
Oh
yeah,
easily.
And we
it's
are
a killer engine right off the bat.
A year in.
Yep.
Direct injection goodness, boy.
That one is moving along surprisingly well. So, and we get that. We get that a lot. Like maybe call it the LTG or the 3800 at these phases. You're kind of knocking down a lot of barriers, and you're working, and you feel like you're spinning your tires a little bit on development, and then you just pick up something like the Gen 2 LE2, and it's just like bang, 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 and like this engine is happy.
And we've applied everything that we've learned over the various platforms.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah, like
maybe our development process is just getting more dialed.
We're dialing in the development process a little bit.
I just drove the manual Gen 2 home tonight. I treated it nice because Snow Car stayed here overnight. I put it in the garage.
Oh, wow.
It was I was like that's the nicest that car's probably ever been treated.
I drove it at the beginning of the week and I did not.
But I drove. I'm like, okay, it's very commuter car stuff like that. But then I kind of got it. I'm like, this is surprising.
Yeah.
Stock for stock, tune for tune, it is definitely faster than a Gen 1 car.
Oh,
If you if you take a stock Cruze, a Gen 1 to Gen 2, you put just a tune on and like a wastegate, the Gen 2 is gapping that thing.
Well, that's what I love is you guys are like, hey, I need to drive a car home tonight, and I purposely put you in that Gen 2, like for these reasons.
Yeah.
So that when somebody calls and Ryan will be like, I know all about this car. I've driven this car.
It's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we got big turbo in the works. We got valve springs. We got cams. We've got like the whole catalog is just
developing,
falling into place, and it's so great that we've been able to take everything that we've learned on all the other platforms, and it's kind of like a baby LTG.
It is just like a baby LTG. You take the
but
front
it doesn't
cover
blow
off,
up.
And you're like,
you took the front cover off, and you're like,
That's the same.
Did
Did
you times by 0.7?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this is
They put it into Photoshop and they went.
Yep, they just dropped it down 30%.
it's a little baby guy. And then what's awesome too is how reliable it's been. The fuel system's gone far. Tim's tuning a ton of them. It sounds like.
Yeah.
He's always talking about.
It is
The
insane.
wastegate seems to be a super killer mod.
Big
Yeah.
mod on that car.
That's coming.
Huge.
Mhm.
It's we already have a few test ones out there. On the main one, it's on there now. It's amazing. We can run 485 on a stock fuel system.
That's nutty.
That's pretty silly.
That's like no other platform car we have.
And not even stock fuels, or not even stock turbo. We've taken big turbo stock fuel system, fully E85,
Yep.
which is
We've
phenomenal.
basically made well over 200 wheel on stock fuel system with the 85.
No meth, no
What in tarnation?
rigmarole, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
3800 can't even do that.
that's a killer platform.
Mike, I'm gonna need a sound bite of that. 3800 can't even do that.
I'll be honest. You put E85 in a stock fuel system 3800. It's not going to make over 200 wheel.
And the fuel pump goes.
You don't got no pressure no more.
Yep.
Oh, DI the world.
Yeah, I will give it to Ryan on this.
Go, the future is here, boys.
But I'm super pumped about that platform. I'm excited for our customers to start buying them. Preston has one now.
Mm-hmm.
We've got suspension mods, we got brake mods, we got everything.
The best
and
thing
we got
about
more coming up.
The best thing about that Gen 2 is it's much more refined. You feel like you're in a nicer car because it is a nicer car.
It's better, way better
Wait, what? Interior's better. What?
than the first gen Cruise.
Dude,
See, I like the interior
dude,
more. I mean,
you drive Steve's Premier home and you drive Yeti home.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Big difference.
I did drive the base model, the manual.
Yeah, that one's rental car spec.
Yeah, like I'm like,
so.
I don't
like
think it's that bad still. I mean, if you get over the cloth.
I think the gauge cluster stuff's a little boring, but either way, that's not stuff mods can't fix.
yeah,
I'm
that's,
saying,
that's the thing
stop.
for me. The gauge cluster and the Gen 2 just doesn't
Yeah.
give me any
Hurts.
fizzly bits.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
fair.
Like,
That's fair. I
ZZP
understand
got a Hertz car today.
But
Oh,
I can
okay.
plug my iPhone in and have the music on.
That's true.
That's all I need.
That is the important part,
That's
right
all
there,
I need.
baby.
Yep.
All right.
Anywho,
So what are we?
We are 508.
508.
I know you want to keep
it's
going.
actually called the ZZP Power Hour. We're
We-
doing
Power
2
2 hour.
We want to get
Power
going
2
on
hours.
way many more things, but
Yep.
I've got a dinner date to get to tonight, so
It's your anniversary.
It is.
It's
Yeah.
not. Me and Tyler are going out. It's
Yeah,
just
we're
me
going
and
to Bodie's or
him.
something.
We're going
I
to
don't know.
Bodie's. Yeah.
I thought it was. You're lying to me. You're lying to me. Don't lie to me. Don't put me out
All
there.
right, I'll start with you, Ryan. What you doing this weekend?
Man, I got for Father's Day, I got a surface washer, and I really, really want to use it and clean some stuff out.
Nothing better than power washing
Just
some things.
Big dad
Just-
things.
I really want to. Like, if it's nice
so
weekend,
satisfying.
stuff's getting
Are you gonna flip Snowballed over and wash your?
Dude, if I had to think, get it.
Just get a rotisserie in the
Just
garage.
get- oh.
Just flip it over.
Woo! Don't tempt me. Yeah, so nothing big plans. I kind of want to do some house stuff, lame stuff, really. But I found out today that my license plate light bulb, the wire came out. It's hanging underneath the car right now. I'm like, yeah, that sucks to get to. So I'm gonna try to figure that out this weekend. And get
It's
that
pretty
done.
easy. It's 2 Torx, and then you reach up in there, and then you grab it, and then you put it back
Wait,
in.
yeah, no, it's just. No, that's part's still in there. It's just the bulb and the thing. It's there. It's just getting it. It's gonna
Yeah.
be. I gotta have to play.
Well, it's
try to
because
Oh, you don't
got
have to
that
take off
big
plate.
diffuser
Just give me-
too back there. So.
Little small hands.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
take baby hands
Yeah.
out there.
Well, you got to go to your anniversary, so you're not gonna be very useful for that.
She'll understand.
Monday.
Anyway.
Deal.
Why are you late?
Anyway.
I was putting a plate light in the Snowball.
Yeah, pretty much.
Randy, what about you?
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're
I'll
good.
kick
No,
you
that's
off.
it. I'm doing that. And just
I'm gonna
you know.
try to do as little as possible. Just because the last weekends have been so stinking full. I don't know, just garage cleanup stuff. Probably play a little sim stuff. Play online with Paul a little bit.
Sounds fun.
I just try to chill out for a weekend would be cool.
Oh,
I don't know if it'll actually happen.
I will say if I do get the license plate light on too,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to call people because I got the underglows on the snowball right now. I want an underground, like Need for Speed underground cruise this weekend. I want to go out kind of acting a fool.
I could be down for some acting bad
Oh my
this
God.
weekend.
Yeah, I don't have a cool car, but I'll drive the Encore.
Incorrect. Drive the Encore.
The LSJ goes. "Pop, pop, pop, pop,
Yeah, it does
So-
got
Cool
the
enough.
cam. Hey, I have cams too.
You got cams too.
We drive the same
We
car.
all at this table have cams. Let's go.
No,
boys.
he doesn't.
1.9 rockers, you're fine. You're good.
He only has one cam,
Just the one.
and it's stock.
Hmm.
So
We has 1.9 rockers, baby cam. It's
I
fine.
don't have one.
You need an
right
NRC.
You took the 1.9 rockers off the car?
I've been stock long block for a
What
year
is-
now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Who are you?
I put
Anything.
together the stock deal for Tail of the Dragon last year, and it's just been still ripping.
It's
Yeah.
ripping.
It is a stock.
That's okay. The week before
stock
the Dragon,
engine.
we'll pull that engine out. We'll do some stuff.
Yeah,
to it.
yeah,
Yeah, that was my plan.
As per usual.
yeah.
Tyler, what you got?
I love it. All right, so tonight is my 5-year anniversary with Erica, my lovely wife. So we are gonna go have dinner, and then we're gonna have drinks, and then probably
Can't
end up
talk
at
about what
Bob's.
after that.
Yeah, you can't talk about what happens after that.
Yeah, when Tyler ends up at Bob's, I'll end up at Bob's.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to come out to Bob's Bar and
Don't tempt me, please.
Yeah.
I don't need
Come
It's right
on
by
out.
Seven Monks. That's your favorite.
I
place.
know. I don't need to spend more money today.
past that, tomorrow I am mowing the lawn because it has been 2 or 3 weeks,
Hell
and that
yeah.
thing is looking like Donnie Thornberry, which I know you know everything about right now.
It's super dry, so
Yeah.
you couldn't. Well, yeah.
And then I'm working on a Ford Fusion tomorrow night.
What?
There's
Ew,
been a lot of
Fords.
those getting worked on around.
Yeah,
Weird.
and then hopefully relaxing a little bit because
No.
4th of July weekend is going to be insane.
Yeah, that's
as
gonna be a
always.
rough weekend.
Yeah, that's
So-
next
Yeah,
weekend.
we got a heads up. Anybody, if you care, next week, 3-day week for ZZPerformance.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
please. Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
call.
yeah.
Shout outs
Cool.
to our hot and heavy customer service. They're not going to be here Thursday or Friday.
Yep.
Don't email me Thursday or Friday. Don't do
don't.
it. I'm not answering.
It is
Yeah,
my
America's
life.
birthday, and we are
America's
going to
birthday.
be doing
America's
American
We're going to be
things.
drinking Miller High Lifes and riding
I
around on
have
boats.
my margarita set up already ready to go. Do not email or message me. I'm not answering. I love your cars. Not on those days I don't. You got me Monday through Wednesday, boys.
He's got the salted rim ready.
The
to
salt,
go.
I bought the margarita salt. If
Oh,
you message
the-
me,
with
you
the
are going to
lime?
get a
With the
salty
lime?
response back.
Oh, yep.
Anyways, Bo.
Anyway, but what are you doing? This weekend?
Oh, this weekend? Shoot.
He's got a new cat.
Guys, by the way, our service team will not be here next week. However, you're still good to, send your service first.
Ryan Klein will be here.
Ryan Klein, well, yes.
That
Ryan-
dude holds down the fort no matter
Yeah,
what.
Ryan Klein will be here. Bo will not. For any stuff like that, I'm both mini step in for a little bit for a few days, but before that, we're gonna give this man a vacation. He's dealing with y'all crazy mofos.
Yeah, I took advantage of next week, and took the
Arcadian
rest
fun.
of the week off besides 4th of July, and we're heading to Silver Lake tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll be in the dunes and on Silver Lake for 7 days.
I won't hear from Bo. Bo's gonna come back
So jealous.
this color.
Yeah, tanner than an MFer, but
No,
Yeah.
red, burnt. Bo's gonna come back burnt, drunk, and all the above.
I will be checking my email for emergencies, but other than that,
Nothing else.
gonna have to grab us for Monday through Wednesday.
Correct, boys and girls.
Yeah.
Well, thanks
No,
everyone
that's
for joining us.
Absolutely, guys.
It's
as
been a
usual.
pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
We love the Power Hour. We're
We
glad
do
that
love
you
it.
got in. Thanks for coming in the chat, Arcane, Bill Kish, TJ,
Bill Kish here?
Sebastian Morrison,
I'll see
Dan
you.
North, literally everybody. Thanks for coming out.
Yeah.
We will be back in 1 month.
Yeah, what to
Yeah.
look forward to. Let's see. We got
July
a
26th.
ton of products
July
coming down
26th.
the line that we'll be able to update you guys on. And we'll be casually prepping for our yearly Tail of the Dragon trip.
Yeah.
We will.
Yeah.
So we'll definitely
That's like
be
a week
pretty.
or two before.
We'll
I'm
definitely
scared.
be pretty
Go.
geeked about that
Pretty scared.
by the end of July. And otherwise, stay tuned, boys. We're
Yeah.
going to be working hard until then.
Yep.
Once again, new LNF manifold. Guys, if you want to keep making parts, buy them. Buy that thing right there. Titanium studs. Upgrades. Get your Z-Series turbo upgrades.
It's dope.
And HP
It's
tuners. LNF, we run the four-cylinder games. We are the best. Don't
LNF
forget.
Turbo Ecotech. We're going through the hashtags right now, right?
LNF Turbo Ecotech.
All right, Mike, cut it.
Mike, don't cut it.
Cut it.
LNF guys, buy the part. Guys, don't do it. LNF guys, come on now, my guys.